Good luck sleeping after these movies.
I like to dissect girls. Did you know I'm utterly insane?
You are all going to die tonight.
Welcome back, everybody. I hope everyone's having a great week. We are already halfway through it. Last week, I had some very negative videos and reviews, so today I decided to switch it up a little bit. So one of my favorite things to talk about as a horror fan are movies that are actually scary. Because as horror fans, we're probably desensitized to most things by now, right? So when we do come across that one movie that makes us feel unsettled, makes us feel scared, makes us feel anything, that's huge, right? So I'm here with a few movies that actually scared me, get under my skin, whatever you want to call it. They're fucking scary to me. So make sure you let me know in the comments ones that actually scared you, and if I haven't seen them, I'll definitely check them out and give you some feedback. So before we start, I have two quick honorable mentions. Two movies that have not released yet. One of them is called Undertone.
What were you thinking? You shouldn't have listened to all of them. It's what she wants.
I'm sure you've probably seen some marketing or trailers for it yet, but I got to check this one out last summer for Fantasia Fest, which I do press for every year. Holy shit. Legitimately terrifying, unnerving, and just intense. I've never experienced a movie that uses sound design like Undertone did. It was an incredible experience. It was truly scary and terrifying. And fun fact, when this movie premiered, it didn't have a big studio or anything behind it. Maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks right after, A24 picked this one up instantly. Now this director, Ian Tuason, he is now directing the newest Paranormal Activity movie. Now, I'm not a fan of 90% of the dog shit that Blumhouse pumps out, but Blumhouse is a huge company. Everyone knows who they are. For them to have this no-name director helm one of their biggest franchises, that's huge. So obviously somebody pretty high up in Blumhouse, they saw Undertone and they like what they saw. So I'm very excited for Ian. I'm excited for Undertone. I'm excited for you guys to see this movie. The next movie I have is called Diabolic. Diabolic is a folk horror possession style movie mixed with another subgenre that I can't say because that's got to be a surprise. I'm not going to give that away. But this movie is a straight to VOD release, which blows my mind. But this one drops the 20th. It actually got under my skin. Like, the jump scares were good. There was just genuinely creepy moments, and the makeup in this movie looked terrifying. So mark your calendars, February 20th. Do not miss Diabolic. All right, moving on to movies that you can actually watch right now. First up, I have a little Korean gem called Gonjiam Haunted Asylum. Gonjiam follows this YouTube crew that is looking for the most haunted place in Korea. And let me tell you, they fucking find it. So they go to this abandoned asylum, and they definitely encounter a lot more than they expected. Now, a lot of people, they compare this one to Grave Encounters. They say Grave Encounters is scarier than this. It's a lot more effective. Listen, I love Grave Encounters, but I found Gonjiam way more effective. Like, the jump scares I thought were more effective, the imagery, the asylum itself, just those demons, entities, whatever they are, those black eyes, those creepy noises. I think they're terrifying. That's straight nightmare fuel. And the pacing for this one, I think the pacing is great. It's a slower build-up. It doesn't blow its wad right in the beginning, and it's not just repetitive bullshit. I think the cinematography is very effective. It uses a lot of background movements, which then makes you scan the background constantly the rest of the movie. It's just a very patient movie, and I think the ending is very bleak, and it's something that will stick with you for a while after the credits roll. Next up, I have Session 9.
I am so sorry.
Released in 2001, and this one has a lot of familiar faces before they were famous, like Josh Lucas, Larry Fessenden, and David Caruso. This one follows an asbestos crew that's tasked to clean out an abandoned asylum. Yes, another abandoned asylum movie, but no, it is not a haunted asylum movie that you think you are getting. This one is a very slow burn. That's people's biggest gripes about this one is how slow it was. But this one kept me entertained and intrigued the entire time. Like, I thought it was great at keeping my attention. And this movie doesn't have loud jump scares. It doesn't have creepy imagery. It's one that taps into you in a psychological type of way. It has these recordings of these tapes that are very unsettling to listen to. There's moments of voyeurism where you feel like you're being watched along with these workers. It just has an extreme creepy factor to it. And once we are hit with this reveal, it was like a double fake out. But once you realize like what's really going on, and once you realize what this man did to his family, it like knocks the wind out of you. There's just so much tension and dread in this movie, and I think it's a masterclass at building those. Next up, I have House LLC. Directed by Stephen Cognetti and released in 2015, this is one of my favorite found footage films of all time, and it scared the shit out of me. This one is a mockumentary style found footage, which I also love, but this one follows the events 5 years after a deadly malfunction at a haunted attraction. Now, there isn't really a lot of jump scares in this movie, but this movie is the imagery alone that gets to me. Like, yeah, the clowns in this movie, they're pretty creepy looking as well, but one of the scariest scenes I have ever seen is the bedroom scene in this movie. When that dude wakes up, he turns on the camera, turns on the light, and that girl is sitting at the end of the bed, scared the shit out of me. And I'll admit, I watched this movie in the middle of the day, sun out, everything, and this scene still scared me that bad. Fuck that scene. I love it, but I will never forget it. The makeup of that dead girl, the camera work, I thought it was just done perfectly. And besides that scene, I thought the movie was incredible, especially for the budget that it had. It also had likable characters, a great story. I think the first House LLC is a found footage masterpiece. All right, up next we have The Autopsy of Jane Doe. Released in 2016, this movie stars Brian Cox and Emil Hirsch. The entirety of this movie takes place in a morgue during an autopsy. And where this movie goes and how mean it is unforgettable. So this is another movie that doesn't rely on cheap jump scares or loud noises. This is just straight atmospheric and extremely creepy. And there definitely are a few effective jump scares, but it's not overdone to the point where it's annoying, and that's what it's relying on. And the way they incorporate that bell on the cat collar, diabolical and terrifying at the same time. And again, where this movie goes and how it ends, it left me like emotionally exhausted. Like, it's sad. It's sad what happens to these characters. But this is one I adore and I highly recommend. And if you haven't seen any of Andre Overdal's other work, highly recommend checking out his entire filmography. And last, we have Demian Rugna's Terrified.
No tiene que tener sangre en las manos, no en este lugar. A estos seres les gusta la sangre.
Terrified was released in 2017, and all you need to know is that this is a paranormal film from Argentina. Whenever you hear horror and Argentina in the same sentence, buckle the fuck up. So this movie opens up at 100 miles per hour with its opening scene with the bathroom, the boyfriend and girlfriend, but it kind of shoots itself in the foot when it comes to pacing with that. It doesn't entirely ruin the movie, but it definitely has pacing issues after that. But this is legitimately one of the scariest movies I've ever seen. From the dead kid that sits at the table and does nothing, to the dude in that room with the monster under his bed in his closet, like, it's terrifying. But I love the story in this one. I love the characters. And like I said, yes, there are some pacing issues, but it's brutal, it's scary, and it pushes some boundaries. If you haven't seen Demian Rugna's other work, When Evil Lurks, please watch it. When Evil Lurks isn't necessarily a scary movie, but it is brutal and shocking. So I hope you guys enjoyed my list. Again, let me know in the comments movies that scared you, and if I haven't seen them, I will definitely check them out. And if you don't do so, make sure you hit that subscribe button to keep it locked here for horror content every week.